Hello again, wrestling fans. Welcome to AIWF Ringside Wrestling. It's been a few weeks since we've seen you. Glad to have you along. We've been talking about, before we came on the air, about the perils of international travel and what it does to the human body, especially the fat, diabetic, out of shape human body known as Mad Matt Carter's. So it's definitely been a lot of adventures, and I've got some videos.
Well, I'll tell you right now, because we all know that I'm going to Vegas for the Cauliflower Alley Club at the end of the month. But got everything willing if my flight, hits on time, which I think it should, because they're behind us out there. So
yeah,
I should be able to do the show from Vegas that Sunday night.
That'd be nice.
I leave Charlotte at like 3 o'clock or something like that. So technically I should be, I don't know. No,
it's going to be close, man. Because
it's going to be close.
Flight out to Vegas is like 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah, that's true.
It's similar to Los Angeles. And so, the Los Angeles flight from Charlotte's 5 hours each way. So
I think it's 4.5. So I may or may not make it that weekend.
I
would have got a earlier flight, but I didn't feel like driving to Charlotte that early in the morning.
Well,
I'll be honest with you.
What hotel are you staying at? Do you mind sharing that with us, or is that something?
Whatever the hotel is they're having the convention at.
Oh, okay. So you're probably going to be up on Fremont Street at one of the old time hotels, then, right? Or
it's not far from there. It's like across the street from it or something.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, so I can go over there and see the topless chicks with the thingies on their thingies and. Last time, the first time I ever went there was where I seen the guy with the big sign that said, kick me in the balls for $5. I think that's what it is.
Wow. I didn't see
anybody take him up on it. I guess everybody's figured they didn't be the one to put him in the hospital.
Well, yeah, I know. In that case, I just give him $5 and go on. But we saw.
I seen Elvis every time I went.
That's the one thing I did.
The Gollum guy from Thomasville.
Do what, Reagan? We couldn't hear you. Say it again.
I said, is that Gollum from Thomasville?
Gollum from Thomasville. I remember him. Carolina Catfights. Oh, yeah.
From Thomasville.
Yeah, I remember you.
Yes.
I can't remember his name, man. No. I had fun there. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the dark side of wrestling. Don't let Vice fool you.
Hey, man, I made some good friends with some of those girls up there, and in a very nice platonic way too. So don't even get your minds in a gutter. It's very nice ladies up there, but they would beat the hell out of a guy if the pay was right. That was for sure.
I thought they was gonna suffocate Brian Danzig and Bad Brad one time.
I'm not gonna say they didn't. That wasn't what they wanted.
Whatever happened?
You missed out on that. You missed out. Period.
Whatever happened to that enterprise? We know, the guy and his wife that ran that. They were a couple of nice people.
I don't know whatever happened to that in particular, but I figured the same thing happened to it business-wise as happened to every other wrestling custom. You know what I'm saying? That's tried to sell their videos and stuff. It's too much for free. Yeah. You can't sell it no more when it's all just right there in front of you at the click of a button for free.
Yeah.
Why pay for it,
His biggest audience, if I remember right, him telling me was, and I'm not saying his name because I don't know if they moved into a different kind of business and I don't want to bring it up, but he was telling me that his biggest audience was like in Saudi Arabia at the time. And so this is the early 2000s, 02, 03, somewhere around there.
Something like that, yeah.
He was doing.
The internet was still young,
mm-hmm.
and they could get you to buy a lot of stuff on there. And I know the Bad Brad testicular manipulation video was big in Europe for a while. I'll say it.
Yeah, no,
that was
I didn't.
Hard to watch.
I'm glad I
couldn't do it. The screaming though, the absolute screaming and pain and agony that we had to listen to. Even when you wasn't in there watching it, you'd stand outside the room and
Was it
bad.
worse than the screams of terror from good old boy Leroy McCoy in the first ever toolbox match?
Yeah, because it was more continuous.
Oh, wow. That's
And
hard.
and I like Brad, just because I sit there going, it's my friend in there dying.
Yeah, well, he took the check, so
Yes, he did.
so well, anyway, so Carolina catfights, what great memories there. But boy, I tell you what, it's been an exciting month of July in the mid-Atlantic area. I honestly don't know where to start. So I guess the best place to start is at the beginning, right? So let me get the slideshow up and running here and we'll get going. I'm a little snotty today, but just bear with me. I'm going to try to get through this.
This ain't something you caught overseas and brought back, is it?
No, this is
you or
well, it might be, but I doubt it. It's probably more just from the exhaustion of the travel. Like I was telling you, the return trip was absolutely brutal in every way, shape, form, or fashion possible. It's just, I cannot tell you, like 30 hours straight, either in an airport or on an airplane, will wear your ass out. And if you're not, if you're not in John Cena physical condition, you're gonna suffer. And so yeah, it's been rough. But if it's
like the in-laws,
oh yeah, my mother-in-law was great. We couldn't really understand each other, but that's all right. That's probably for the best, honestly. And so I met my brother-in-law. He was cool. So that was, it was a lot of fun. Let's see here. All right. Can you see the slideshow?
no, yes.
All right.
Yes.
We'll start at the beginning. So this is AIWF Ringside Wrestling for July 30th, 2023. We are on Instagram. You can find us at AIWF Mid-Atlantic Wrestling and Diesel 247. That's Diesel, DEEZEL 247. You can find us there. And if you'd like to follow me over on Twitter, or as it's good, the symbol has changed over the weekend. Elon Musk changed it to a big X.
Yeah, what is that?
I have no idea, but I don't know.
Is he just gonna call it X?
That's it would make
Apparently
sense.
so.
It would
But what do you do when you Google that? There's no telling what's liable to come up.
Yeah, that's true, but it would make sense because Elon
Especially
Musk,
if you got Tourette's, you hit it 3 times.
Yeah. All right. So anybody at home on your internet right now, especially if you're at church, just put 3 X's in Google and hit enter and tell us what happens in the comments. No, I'm just kidding. No, it would make sense because Elon Musk is heavily involved in SpaceX, which handles all the private business of, the United States space program. So I would have a feeling it's a tie-in with his other brand. That's the only thing I can feel. But he sent out
make sense.
He sent out a tweet a little while ago that said big news or big announcement on the horizon or something like that. So he's got another announcement coming this week. It'll certainly shake social media to its very foundation. You can find me on Twitter or X, whatever, right now at Mad Matt Concord. If you want to, if nothing else, give me a follow just to see random videos of people getting hurt. I've kind of gotten into that algorithm somehow, and it's not really a what do you call it, a rabbit hole that I want to come out of, because I see a lot of really funny videos every day and I retweet a lot of them. So first things first, when I was in Korea at the airport last week, JAC sent me this picture, which with no explanation, just telling me, hey, use this on the show. It's him with both Carson Cups, his Future Stars AML Championship, his Mid-Atlantic Championship with us in the AIWF. But I don't see David Parrish. All right, so I assume...
And it was a tag team tournament, by the way.
Yeah, so that's what I'm confused about. So the Fighters Club clearly has won the Don Carson Memorial Tag Team Tournament for this year. Congratulations to them. But where the hell's David? What's going on with this picture? I mean, did something happened in the match? Did David leave? What's happening? Yeah, bring us up to date.
I don't know. I wasn't out there watching it.
Okay, so I guess this is on me.
Yes,
So,
this is on you.
I'm waiting for it to come out on the
Yeah.
Roku.
I'll just say that I think David Parrish and Ref Dalen may be they're fed up with the ego of JAC. I think we saw some dissension about the choices that Jack have been making with the way he treats other wrestlers and refs, etc. And I think there's some dissension in the ranks, to say the least. I don't know how much to say because I don't want to ruin anything for the network, but it was definitely a riff in the Fighters Club.
Well, it's been coming. I mean, let's be honest, Reagan. We've known this from just you producing the show, me and being out there. The pressure on Jack right now with Justin Flash, especially since Flash won the Money in the piggy bank, is breathing down his neck, has just been seeming to get to him. And we've seen him smack around Dalen before. They kind of got better there for a while, but it seems like anytime he's under pressure, he may not be the best at handling that type of thing. And he's got all this gold now. And I think it's more than starting to weigh on him. It's been weighing on him for a long time. And it now may be coming to a head at exactly the wrong time.
And he had a pretty rough night in reference to Justin Flash. There were some things that kind of happened that surprised the crowd. And for a match that's going to be set up for Deal with the Steel. So there was already issues from early in the night from his match with one of his matches and with him and Justin Flash and other people and stuff. And there's also controversy about why the Fighters Club was even in that final match of the tournament.
Oh, wow. So we're going to be learning a lot in the next few weeks as the episodes of Mid-Atlantic come out on the Roku channel and on YouTube. So,
not to give anything away, but I am missing a person with me tonight. So it was quite interesting, to say the least.
Well, I think we really need to cover that, but even before it airs, that's my opinion. I'm going to wait for.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
You can talk about it. I mean, it's the age of the internet. You can talk about it, but I'm actually talking about it will help people watch it, see what happens.
Yeah, and so let me go ahead and just do this real quick because I want to get this up on the screen so everybody can see it. We're back in action Saturday, August 5th. My Aunt Babs and my Aunt Jean's birthday. It's always a good day, August 5th every year. It's going to be even better this year because AIWF Wrestling returns, and this is the final show before Deal with the Steel, I believe.
Yes.
It's hard to believe we're already at Deal with the Steel.
Oh, God. Now I have to closer to my shoot job every day.
Yeah, and this week we're going to be releasing the schedule of events that day. I think everything's going to start that day about 4:00.
Okay, so we're going to do, is it going to be similar to last year, Hall of Fame, kickball, all that stuff?
Yeah, pre-show. But I think there's going to be an episode of the Seth Burns show on there.
Oh, good. I haven't seen the video of the first Seth Burns show, but I heard it was a big hit. So, well that's what I heard.
We got some things we need to iron out.
Yeah,
I think it went well for the first for the pilot episode. Let's call it the pilot episode.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, always look at it like this, Reagan. You got to take the David Crockett approach sometime. When stuff goes wrong, hey, just remember what went wrong and try to fix it for next time.
Right. We're actually, believe it or not, after 31 years in this business, we can still find new roads to go down. I don't know how in the world we do it.
Yeah. And so join us this coming Saturday night, August the 5th. At Veterans Park, tickets are $9 for the floor, $6 bleachers. Bell time about 7:30 ish. And it will have some great action. As you can see, Mickey Phelps scheduled to be there. The THC boys are scheduled to be there. Ty Tyson and Matt Anderson, Joe Harrison, I see is on the poster. Alex Bryant is on the poster. So we may have some guests from the Lumberton Ring Wars Carolinas promotion. So that's always interesting when they come to town, because I don't know. Those guys just have the ability to just naturally piss off the entire city of Mount Airy for some reason.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy to do.
Yeah. So anyway, let's talk about it. I don't know what happened, what led to what, but I've heard that Brian Danzig is not going to be joining us tonight because he, for some reason or another, attacked Ty Tyson at our last show. That I did not see coming, but if I look back at the evidence that I noticed, I talked to Brian before about look in his eye when he presented Ty the hardcore title. It's not. I didn't.
You don't think to read between the lines on something like that.
No, you
Look
don't.
for it. You know.
Well, I'm his wife, and it was shocking for me to watch.
This wasn't premeditated. It just happened. Okay.
No, not that I'm okay. We have not talked about it since it happened. Like, he won't talk to me about it. He won't tell me what he was that night. He didn't tell me what he was thinking. Since that night, I can ask him and he just refuses to talk about it. It's a different or old Brian Danzig that I am seeing, since that night. So that's one of the reasons he isn't on tonight. He doesn't want to, he's just, I don't know, very introspective, I guess is a good word to put it. That's the way it kind of seems. And so I was shocked when I was in Gorilla with, producing it. Everything seemed to be going the way I thought it was. He was fighting, he had a chair and looked like he was going to go after Claire, looked like he was going to go after Jack, looked like, all this.
Hold up. Let's set it up for, we got to treat this like we're on radio. So, all right. So explain to us how the whole thing got started. Ty Tyson was in the ring doing what, and how did Brian get involved, and kind of walk us through step by step what happened.
Okay. So Ty Tyson and Ryan Mantis were in the tournament as Black Society, because, Ty joined Black Society two shows ago.
I think so.
Yeah.
So and then of course it was against Fighters Club, and as usual it's the entire Fighters Club, and it was David Parrish and Azrael. Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Yes. And they were
close enough, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to mess up his name.
Well, that's what I've been calling him. So
it was them, but Jack was out there, Claire was out there. Was Dalen the ref? I think was Dalen the ref? I don't remember that much, but so the match started, and before they rang the bell, Brian stood up, got the mic, and was telling the crowd how sick he was of the Fighters Club, how sick he was of their numbers game, how sick he was of just watching them show after show just use the number games against all their opponents. And then he asked Ty and Ryan Mantis if he could be in their corner. And, of course, Ty Tyson was like, yes. And so he went out there, he was just, in the beginning, he was just in their corner, just, with moral support, I guess would be the way it looked. And so, you know how Fighters Club goes, they're always interfering, they're always getting into the business of, you know, of trying to mess up everybody else. And so he had a chair, and, you know, he was like threatening the Fighters Club with the chair. It just was all normal, you know, just, you know, he looked like he was out there to protect Ty and Ryan Mantis. And um and then at the end of the match, Ty Tyson hits the I don't know if he has a name for it, F5. It looks like the F5, and went to pin, I believe it was David Parrish, and Brian put David Parrish's foot on the rope. And I'm back there stuck with headphones and mics and, you know, and walkie talkies, and I'm stunned. And
I bet.
and so and then just one thing, you'll just have to watch. And then one thing led to another, and it led to Ty Tyson laying in a pool of his own blood.
Wow. Well, I would love to get Brian's thoughts when he feels up to talking with us as to what drove him to this. But Rick Diesel, you and Brian Danzig, we're in the family together for many years. You would know almost as good as Reagan as what makes this guy tick. You know what?
Nobody knows what makes Brian tick. If you remember, he put me through a table in Bassett, Virginia, and I never seen it coming.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, we like rode to the show together.
Yeah, well, you threw him through ring ropes full of barbed wire in Mount Airy, and he's still got the scar above his knee to prove it.
Well, families fight.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Families fight.
And you know, looking back, you know, I see things like Matt was saying, like I see like little comments he would make at home, you know, but it was just like, you know how like, okay, just, you know how like when you've been around, when you're a veteran, I won't say old people, and you're just reminiscing, and you're like, hey, like I still do that with Claire a little bit. I'll be like, man, like I would, like she was like, nobody's here that can, you know, and I'm like, man, if I was 15 years younger, I'd go out there and I'd show her that there was a woman in the AIWF who could, but I know I can't, you know what I'm saying? Like my body can't take it. I'm not as good as she is. And, but you know, you have those thoughts, and you might say like, I could take her, or I could take him, or just little things, and you just kind of blow it off. You know what I'm saying? And then that. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know. He didn't come out the rest of the night after that. He went to the back, and I didn't see him until after the show.
How did the crowd react is what I would be curious, like the Mount Airy crowd, because they've seen just in the last year some weird and unexplained shit go down at Mid-Atlantic shows, and this has got to be up there at the top. You know, with Brian just coming out of the broadcast booth and then absolutely going batshit crazy on Ty Tyson and leaving him in a pool of his own blood. Was it stunned silence? Were they angry? What do you guys remember?
They were pretty angry. I mean, Ty, you know, the crowd is just so behind Ty, and it just, I mean, it was one of those things where it was not only somebody going after Ty Tyson, but I mean, it's somebody helping the Fighters Club win. I mean, It's like a perfect storm of shock, disgust, dismay, all that. I think it was all the emotions of everybody.
Well, I'm assuming there'll be a lot of questions answered on the 5th.
Yeah.
That's when everybody will be back together. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of people used to say, well, you know, they do everything on show night. Well, you have to, because that's when everybody's there. Okay, that's when you get to stick a camera in Ty Tyson's face. That's when you'll get to stick a camera in Brian Danzig's face if he's there, and see what's going on each one of them's mind. Because you can't just run them down at their houses and bother them on their off time. They have lives. So that's what the shows are for, to answer questions. So I'm sure we'll get a lot of questions answered in 6 days.
Yeah, it's very compelling thing. And maybe, I don't know, like let's not toot our own horns too much, but toot Brian has been for the last several months a beloved member of the AIWF Mid-Atlantic broadcast team. And so the fans have to feel like, well, not only did he betray us there by, not being a neutral announcer anymore, he took our favorite wrestler and beat the shit out of him.
I mean,
So,
it's almost, and not to make this comparison, it's kind of reminiscent of when Dusty Rhodes joined the NWO. He was on the broadcast the whole time. Larry Zbyszko wanted him in his corner. He wanted to be in Larry Zbyszko's corner, and then he turned on Larry Zbyszko and joined Hall and Nash. And, it on a bigger stage, but it's kind of that same, like what's going through somebody who is supposedly retired's mind, at that point, like what was the breaking point that's like, I can't put up with this anymore. So
I don't know. I'd be
interested. Yeah, what was the trigger?
Yeah.
Was it the new belt? Was it the new division? I mean, Brian ruled that hardcore division for years. And then it went away, basically just went away for years. And now Ty Tyson's bringing it back.
And just if you listen to commentary, you'll hear Bobby, you'll hear Kevin being like, get up, you're Brian Danzig, what are you going to do? And he's like, I'm just here to come. I'm retired. I'm here to just do commentary. I'm just here to call the show. I'm not here to get involved. And I don't know if it's now because I don't know. Because like during the whole show, I don't see him because I'm busy and he's busy. And so I know nothing about this.
So this sounds like this is Bobby Dalton and Kevin Stryker's fault to me. That's what it sounds
I blame Bobby Dalton for everything.
Yeah. Damn it, Bobby.
Damn it, Bobby.
But so I don't know. I'm as a loss for words as everybody else.
Easy.
And
Wow.
and if I had answers, I would share them, but I don't.
Yeah. Well, I remember a few years ago at the anniversary show, Brian Danzig had a match with Johnny Reb. I think it was a strap match or bull rope match.
It was a bull rope match.
Yeah. And I remember thinking, boy, I tell you what, that is not a hornet's nest that you want to shake up, because Brian had been out of the ring for years. And when that bell rang that day, he was in kick-ass mode, going wide open, and Johnny Reb has never even entertained the thought of having another match after that.
No.
And so good luck to all parties involved is all I got to say, because you stirred up something. When Brian Danzig gets that faraway look in his eyes, I've talked about it before, what do they call it? The 100-yard stare or whatever they talked about with Vietnam vets or whatever. And I'm not comparing wrestling to Vietnam, for God's sakes, but still, when Brian gets that faraway look in his eyes and he's in fight mode, you better watch out. And so Ty Tyson, good luck. I'll certainly like to see some questions answered, and I hope we will this Saturday. All right, let's go ahead and pay some bills real quick. Premier Auto Detailing, our newest sponsor. They are hands down the best car cleaning service in town. Pause for a cough. You can reach them at 336-883-5722. That's 336-883-5722. They'll do individual jobs for you. That old pickup you've had out on blocks for a while, you finally got it running, got some wheels on it. Now you need to clean it up because you're going to take it to town. Well, they can help you with that. Also, Premier Auto Detailing can help you with fleet service work as well. if you've got a used car lot, or you own a business like, I don't know, like branch management, you have several trucks that you know that you have in your fleet that may need cleaning up, you can reach out to them for that service as well. 336-883-5722. It's Premier Auto Detailing, and they are available in the Mount Airy, Surry County area. Be sure you give them a call. Love that cough button on this microphone. Tees Creations, custom apparel. They can do custom made t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies. They do tumblers, just about anything you need printed. They got you covered.
Oh, and now they're live on the TikTok.
They're on TikTok now.
Yeah, they have a TikTok shop, and let me see if I can get Butthole to answer the phone. I'll get her to tell you about it.
All right, get ready for some profanity here, because Trista will be mad that we're putting her on live internet.
What are you doing?
Carson.
Nothing. The internet's back up. Why ain't you selling?
I'm tired now.
Ah, okay. Well, since we was up doing the talk show and Matt was advertising your business, I figured I would call you and put you on speakerphone, which you've already started cussing, and let you tell them about your live TikTok shop thing. So tell them about it.
Hold it. So I got the new video game, so that's what I've had to deal with. Anyway.
Video game.
Yeah, some $5 sticker game off the PlayStation.
Oh.
Anyway, what did you say now?
Tell them about your TikTok shop.
What do you want me to tell them about it?
How they can watch you and stuff,
Yeah.
and what you do. Jesus.
What it is. Sell your business, Trista. Come on.
Yeah, sell your business, Trista.
TikTok to begin with.
Well, that's where you start.
Okay. Then follow Tees Creations, and I go live and sell stuff.
And sometimes I'm on there and steal the show.
You're gonna have to let us know about that. So if we go on TikTok, Trista, we need to look for Tees Creations. We need to follow you there.
I can't hear nothing he's saying.
He said if you go on TikTok, you follow Tees Creations.
Yes.
Okay.
Can you hear her okay, Matt?
Yeah, pretty good.
Okay.
But I'm wearing a headset, so I can hear everything.
Oh, okay. All right. And usually around what time of day do you go live?
That's really hard to say. It just depends. I usually try to go live twice a day, one around lunchtime or so, and then one in the evenings.
Oh, okay. So it's a twice a day type thing. So around lunchtime, and then in the evening. So visit Tees Creations over on TikTok and check it out, because they do a live sales show there. And you can also visit them on their website.
Well, it's a TikTok shop. They can shop even if I'm not live.
Oh, okay. See, I don't know anything about TikTok, so I'm learning too.
Well, and she comes up and she has new stuff all the time, and now she's getting ready to start something new. And like I said, she'll go on there and she'll make shirts and talk to the people. I walked in up there the other day, she had like 1,400 people watching her.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
So TikTok.
Anyway, bye.
Bye.
All right. So we learned a little something.
I was going to ask her.
What was you going to ask?
Well, my Zero Fucks Given glass, it got broken yesterday, and I can't find a replacement.
Hang
and
on.
I need to, if I want to show her the design to see if she can
Hang on,
remake
man.
it.
All right, say that again, Reagan.
Okay, so I had this one of those pint glass that looked like a beer can glasses, and it said Zero Fucks Given with like a rainbow.
Everything else cut out.
Oh,
Try it again. Hang on. Let me
this
turn my
is riveting.
speakers up.
Broadcast
All right, that's
excellence.
right.
All right, so I had this glass, like the kind that looks like beer can with the bamboo lid and the straw. Well, it
Yes, I
said
have
zero.
those.
it said 0 fucks given with like a rainbow. If I was to show you what it looked like, do you make those on the beer can glasses?
She does.
Yes.
Okay, well, I have to get with you at the show and show you what it looked like.
She broke hers, Trista.
I didn't break mine.
No.
Somebody else in this house broke it. So,
It done something to Brian. He beat the hell out of it, like he did your husband.
that is true. But Trista cannot hold Brian Danzig's actions against me.
All right, y'all both started and stopped talking at the same time. To translate, Reagan said, "Don't hold Brian responsible," and Trista said, "You got what now?"
I've got a 16-ounce clear or 16-ounce frosted glass. That's kind of like it's frosted. It's not clear, but it's frosted. And then I've got a 20-ounce ombre that's got hot pink on the bottom.
We'll have to look. I'll get with you at the show because that's the important stuff. I don't care about all the other stuff. I just want a replacement for my favorite cup.
Those are really popular right now. They are really popular.
I know. I use this.
We
cup
lost it, Matt.
Oh, well, shit. Never mind. Riveting information.
Shine up that fucking Marconi, boys. It's coming home to us. Excellence in broadcasting.
We never know which rails it's gonna go off of, but it always does.
It always does.
Bye, Trista.
Oh boy.
How dang it turned into an infomercial for T's Creation.
That's all right. We'll be sending out the bill for that later. Speaking of, and look, and so here's our advertising rates. You know the deal, $10 a month. And like when we have to do a hiatus or travel internationally and bring home any kind of wondrous new bugs to the American landscape.
If you start another pandemic, Matt Carter, I'll never forgive you.
Is it Typhoon? Is it Typhoon Mary? Is that what it's
called?
Typhoid Mary.
Yeah.
Typhoon Mary.
Typhoon Mary. There was a typhoon while I was there, but we didn't get it too bad. But anyway, $10 a month. And like if we do take weeks off, my point being is that we're not going to bill you for that. You're going to get 4 reads for $10. It's the best bargain in wrestling. I mean, look, we go to Conrad Thompson or any of those big podcasts like Jim Cornette and see if you can get advertising this cheap. Not going to happen. And Lord, I know what you're saying. Well, not as many people listen to you guys. Well, yeah, that's kind of
a couple shows got close.
Yeah, we do better on the video platforms, and I'll talk more about that. But especially here on the live feed, we do really well. So, but we'd love to have you join us as a sponsor. It's really affordable. So if you've got a side business or you do taxes during tax season, whatever, jump on it, man.
As long as it's legal.
Yeah, as long as it's legal in the state.
Hey, we might even call you and let you talk about it on the air.
Oh yeah, I would say that definitely would be something we could do.
Yeah.
We're on all these platforms: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify.
Well, one's going away. Stitcher's going out of business August 29th.
Oh, that's all right. That's included with Apple. So
Okay.
What's Stitcher? Is that like
it's a podcast. It was a paid podcast place the one good thing about it was that it housed like every single podcast episode that most podcasts have, and so now it's going out of business, so nobody knows what they're going to do with their backlog. So.
Well, yeah, I got it when we signed up for Apple Podcasts. Stitcher came with it, so yeah.
Well, if it had that much content and it was that popular, why in the hell is it going out of business?
Well, because you can listen to podcasts free. Stitcher Premium was pay, but you didn't get. But Stitcher Premium, you didn't get as many commercials. So sometimes they'll be like, well, when we'll be back, it'll just play their music and then it'll come right back. So the only real commercials were the ones that were the copy they read.
Gotcha.
Okay.
And so if you listen on everything else, I don't know about Spotify because I don't have, but like Apple Podcasts, you're going to get all the commercials.
Mm-hmm.
That's like these all these wrestling. It reminds me of all the wrestling things that puts the paywalls up. I don't see how they're going to survive. It's too much free content out there.
That's why I'm glad that we don't, because I think it's a waste of fucking
Right.
time.
Right.
You know,
because, I mean, you can say, well, yeah, it's our exclusive content, but yeah, you're using the same guys that works on every other freaking show around you. So if anybody wanted to watch that so-and-so wrestle, all they got to do is just see it somewhere else.
Yeah.
So I feel like all that's going to hurt. That'll go to the wayside someday.
Well, podcasting right now is going through some changes. There's, a whole thing. I don't know if you guys have been listening to Cornette's podcast, but they've got a whole thing going on with their podcast distributor, who has evidently screwed Cornette out of six-figure dollar amounts. And yeah, it's a real ugly situation, but a lot of people have lost money with this group. I can't even remember the guy's name. Probably it's best that I don't mention it here because I don't have a legal dog in that fight. We don't have enough traffic anyway to even be in that conversation, but it's unfortunate, especially when people use these podcasts to make their living and to get screwed over by a distributor and not be given their money for advertising they're supposed to. But you don't have to worry about that, folks. We keep everything in-house here. We don't have no third-party ad people mixed up with us. As far as I know, at least on the podcast end, we handle everything. AIWF20@hotmail.com. We have a podcast distributor who is great. We pay them every month. They distribute the shows and we leave each other alone. And we have a good relationship. We pay them for the service. They provide that service and we're all happy. And they also send me emails about how to increase the traffic. So we try to apply that, but yeah, anyway, but you can reach out to us at AIWF20@hotmail.com or approach any of us at the live events, and we'll be glad to get you all set up. So have you guys seen, we were talking about Twitter earlier. Have you seen the video going around of the guy it looked like his spinal column readjusted?
I've seen that.
I haven't seen it.
Who's training these idiots?
I don't know, man.
No comment. No comment.
Let me see if I can pull it up here. Oh, yeah, the X is taking over them. All right, let's see here. And get my profile up.
I mean, you think you get a 2 count on Ric Flair and that you can just train whoever the hell you want to.
No. And everybody's got a school now.
But I'm gonna say some of them have fantastic workers. I'm not gonna say who, but I think we've had somebody that came from somewhere in particular, and he was fantastic. But I don't want to say who or where he worked.
Was that recently? The guy that was on just recently? Yeah.
Yeah. If he came from where I heard he came from, they are on it. But I don't want to give misinformation.
Here it is. Yeah, looking again. If this dude is
My question is, do you think it was an accident or not?
Or was he stretching him?
Yeah.
He stretched him all right.
He did. Well, if he had any, good God.
That is fucking gnarly, man.
Yeah.
Not only is it his back, does he hit his head too? Looks
Yeah.
like one foot's in his head.
Yeah, his jaw definitely caught the apron of the ring right there. But what we're looking at for you on audio, it's from the Infames Lucha Club. Have to assume in Mexico.
That's not necessarily true. There's lucha everywhere.
Yeah, there's luchas everywhere. Don't necessarily have to be in Mexico anymore.
So it could be Puerto Rico. Who knows?
Oh, yeah, because it's in
it could
Spanish.
be Kansas.
It could be Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
Well, I don't look like Winston-Salem background. But yeah, so Infame's Lucha Club. If somebody wants to Google that and let us know where it's at. but the guy jumps off the ropes and just lands
All
on
his weight.
all his weight, both feet on the guy's neck and upper spinal column, and drives him into the ring apron, which all of you know is the hardest part of the ring. Just
And it's making the rounds to all the big talkers too. I see a lot of people on Facebook that is really trashing this. That's been around. You know what I'm saying?
like who?
Well, I mean, it's like, well, I don't know if I'm going to be saying names, but it's people who know people. You know what I'm saying? People who knows better. I guess the best way to put it. I don't know.
That's vicious. I'm like you, Rick Diesel. I didn't think about this before, but was it intentional or was it an accident?
It's hard to say. I mean, because he didn't do anything. And look at his face when he's done.
He's just calm, cool, and collected.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, I'm done. I'm going back to the dressing room. I've done my damage.
Okay, so this might sound controversial.
That's good. That's what we want here.
But like,
We need more.
I understand getting mad in a match and maybe being a little stiff with some punches, some elbows, a strap, some, things like that. Because that you're just, and should we explain what stretching means?
Yeah, I mean, they've heard it on every other podcast, but yeah, stretching somebody is, go ahead, Reagan. You competed.
Well, stretching is when you get mad and you intentionally harm them, really. And I can see where you get mad, somebody does something to you punch, you hit them hard, you smack them hard, you stiff them with an elbow, you stiff them with a kick. Maybe you, like, I've seen Wahoo McDaniels light people up with a strap that you could tell that he was mad about. And
Ron Garvin used to be infamous for that too on those job guys on TV.
Oh, Jesus, yes.
He would stretch them just because he thought it was fun.
Yeah, I don't like that. But anyway, so that I can understand in the terms of the wrestling world. But like when you intentionally go out to actually harm somebody, like, and do something that could kill them, maim them, paralyze them, hurt them so bad that they can't recover, that's where you've crossed the line. So
Right.
like, that's my opinion. And what's controversial of that is saying that it's okay that you stretch somebody. Well,
it's called professional wrestling. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, be professional. Just somebody makes you mad and you want to just get it off your chest with a stiff punch or an elbow or a kick. That's one thing. But if you go out and intentionally try to hurt somebody, which I don't know for sure if that's what it was, that right there could only have went one of two ways. Either the guy is an idiot or he was trying to hurt the guy. That's your only two options. There's only two options. He's either too stupid or he was actually trying to hurt him. You know what I'm saying? So either way, it's not professional.
Ban the curbs, because that's pretty much a curb stomp, right? Like if you were putting it back to a WWE move.
Well, it's more of a
done very recklessly. But
Kevin Sullivan done
I'm saying, like,
Kevin Sullivan done it, but he was on the mat. I guess who was it that done it off the ropes? Gilbert? Eddie? I mean, not Gilbert.
Finn Balor does it now. Finn
Balor does it now. But I seem like somebody back a long time ago that done it too. But
it's just like, it's like, this is the thing too. Okay, so say it wasn't intentional, it was just some fucking moron. You see so this is what the fucking moron thinks. Okay, I'm watching Raw, I'm watching SmackDown, whatever Finn Balor's on, and you're like, hey man, I want to do that move. And then he gets it in his head, and then he gets in the match and he calls it. He's like, okay, I'm gonna do this off the top rope. And
now that, ladies and gentlemen, is natural selection.
What?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's what that is.
No. Yeah, we're gonna show it again. We're talking about stupid shit.
And stupid shit happens all the time accidentally. You know, like where's he? Oh my God.
Now this video is started to make the rounds again, but it actually came out for the first time a couple of years ago. Now watch this guy.
Oh,
Talk
he's
about
on the-
natural
on the
selection.
floor.
When Rick Diesel said natural selection, that's why I thought of this. There's actually audio to this. Would you guys like to hear it?
The
Yeah.
best part, see, you
You're
see,
a thud.
this is what ruins wrestling.
Mhm.
Everything about this video is what ruins wrestling. And one, the guy giving the move was an idiot for doing it. Two, the guy taking the move hurts the business by laying there long enough for this guy to climb to the top of the building. Three,
Exactly.
the fans cheered it when they should have been going, "You're an idiot." Both of you.
Listen to the sound.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Holy shit! Holy shit! Holy shit!
Well, we got that part right.
Oh my God! Oh my
Guy over there
God!
running music. He's like,
Yeah,
oh, yeah,
making
man.
sure he's okay. Toad. Oh man.
Hey, he all right? He poured my boots.
And all the way up. Oh my God! Oh my God! Holy shit!
Yep. All right.
I mean, I guess it's another thing where I don't know how old this is, but like when Shane McMahon would come, but like people don't realize how. I mean, this is gonna break a curtain on the business, but
Yeah,
things
let's
like
don't do
that, huh? But
Let's
things
don't
like
do that.
that you see on WWE, like the Shane McMahon dropping the elbow off high thing. In WWE, that stuff is mapped out
Yeah.
exactly what's going to happen. Like that doesn't, you don't just get a win. I mean, but you know, that's mapped out. I don't know. I don't know what to say because you can get hurt doing anything in wrestling. Like,
Mhm.
I don't know, just anything. I mean, and just, I mean, take Mickey Fulp, what, 6 months ago when he
Yeah. When
fell off and went straight down. Maybe that explains what the hell's wrong with him right now. And then yeah, just anything. I mean, you don't need to make this business dangerous for fun. Does
Right.
that make sense?
right.
Mhm.
Right, because you're not going to get a contract by breaking your body in half now.
No.
No, they don't want to see AEW, WWE, Impact, what's left of NWA. None of them is going to actually hire you for doing something like that. That is going to make them stay away from you.
Yeah, because
So
they think
that-
you're dangerous.
Yeah, they're gonna think you're dangerous to their other workers and yourself, and they're not going to invest the time or the money in you. And if you're trying to impress somebody like your girlfriend who's there, what good are you to her after the show? She's gonna be sitting in a hospital with you.
Yeah.
Well, even if he hit it and it went perfectly, then that's going to get in his head. I got to do this every time now.
Mhm.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you're either going to fuck it up or you're going to do it and then you're going to hit it and you're going to, okay, I got to do that again.
I
And then
wonder
you're gonna do it
whatever
again,
happened to that
and
guy.
maybe, I don't know. Didn't something similar happen to New Jack? Didn't he overshoot a bunch of tables?
I
one
think so,
time?
yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, New Jack got hurt so many times.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
But it's just,
but-
But you know how to
going back to what Rick was,
go ahead, Ray.
well, I was gonna say, going back to what Rick was saying about the big ones, the big shows aren't gonna care about that thing when Robert, Roma, and Brian and Daniel and I don't remember who else was there, had their ECW tryout, they didn't want to see any of the hardcore stuff.
No, the
They
first
didn't
thing
want any of
Tommy
that.
Dreamer that day, the first thing Tommy Dreamer come up to me and said is, "We know what you guys can do with fire and tables. We want to see if you can wrestle." They had been watching us. They knew
And
who
that's
we
fucking
were.
ECW.
Yeah, they knew who we
And then-
were. They had been keeping up with everything we done. What they wanted to do is, could these guys wrestle? And Daniel Mays got a freaking standing ovation from the entire locker room that day.
Yeah.
Well, and I think one of them even said, Tommy, I don't remember who it was, Robert Roma's technical as shit, I think was the
Yeah.
quote. So I mean, you're not, don't make it dangerous for the sake of danger. Like, I don't know. And
Well,
there's
then you do
things
something
can
like that, and you got
are
people like
dangerous.
us on here talking about what an idiot you are. That's the only publicity, that's the only glory you got out of it, is people like us shitting down your throat.
Yeah, and then God help you if Cornette gets a hold of it, because man, he's going to take a shit on you in front of millions and millions of people. So, yeah, so don't do that. AEW Collision on Saturday night has seemed to plane off around 500,000 viewers a week, and the difference between them and Dynamite is that their ratings stay pretty solid throughout the whole show, whereas Dynamite starts hot off the Big Bang Theory and then generally week to week trend. So I'm wondering what you guys think. Is it because the structure of the show is more not crazy stuff like we were just talking about? Darby Allin flying off stairs, Sting being too old, jumping off a ladder and, breaking all his ribs on live TV. CM Punk is there on Collision. And so I'm just wondering, it seems like AEW's found something really good with this Saturday night show. It seems like they're able to hold their audience.
Well, all their shows held their audience for the first few months.
For the first few months, yeah, but Dynamite it goes off a cliff every week.
Well, that's what I'm saying. All their shows held their own for the first few months, and then people started trailing off of it, and that'll happen to Collision too.
Think so.
Collision, okay, so stupid. So it's Collision's Saturday night, right?
Say that again. I'm sorry, you're breaking up.
She's freezing up, I think.
Yeah, it's this book. I'm sorry. I'm getting a real computer soon. So that's the Saturday night show, right?
Yes. Collision is Saturday night.
And then Dynamite, is Dynamite their Wednesday show? Is that their flagship?
Yep, that's the Wednesday show.
But see, I always go in with the intention of I'm gonna watch AEW tonight on Wednesday, and then I forget. I don't know, and I
that
really
says
want
a
to watch.
lot.
I haven't watched either one of them in years.
It's been a
I'll
while.
let Matt tell me what's going on.
I watched the first episode of Collision and was really impressed because Nigel McGuinness and Kevin Kelly are the announcers, or the commentary team, and they are. Look, everybody likes to jump on Excalibur and talk about what a shitty announcer he is. I don't think he's a shitty announcer. I think he's very good. He's not eloquent, but he's not bad. He's just overexcited a lot of times, and he likes using the lucha names and the Japanese names that he holds, and he'll get real excited. He's into it, man. I got to give him that. I like Excalibur for that. He's into it, but sometimes he's so into it, it's like you just sound like a fanboy. With Kevin Kelly and Nigel McGuinness on Saturday night, it's more sports based, if that makes sense. It's not Mid-South wrestling by any stretch of the imagination, but it's like everything's calmer. It's a more professional thing, and I'm not calling Excalibur unprofessional. I'm just saying he gets overexcited and yells and hollers sometimes a little bit too much. I think especially for us older fans. I think it's just a presentation on Saturday night seems to be a little more calm. This is a wrestling show. We're going to have great matches on here. Let's see what happens. And the reason I bring it up, CM Punk was on there this past Saturday night. And, when he had his initial falling out with the Young Bucks, he was the champion. And he actually pulled the belt out of the bag and showed it to the audience and said that he was, in his mind, he was still the champion and he wasn't going anywhere and he was straight edge. And that's what made him better than you. And I don't know if he's going to switch heel. It doesn't seem like it would make much sense to me. But with MJF being the world champion, but yeah, Collision definitely seems to be popular and off to a good start.
Well, like I said, I hadn't watched either one of them in years. But that's not that I don't watch wrestling. I watch the older wrestling. I watch I watch the old Crockett, and I watch the Continental, and I watched Memphis, Mid-Atlantic. I watch all that because that's kind of what we're more based on.
Mm-hmm.
And that's me too. It's like I don't watch any WWE product. I don't watch AEW, and it makes me sound like an old person.
Yep.
But like when I'm watching wrestling, I'm in '93 of Smoky Mountain right now, so I'm trying to watch
that too,
all of Smoky Mountain through.
Yeah.
Because I missed that. Like I wasn't into wrestling when it was on.
Yeah.
So
I didn't discover Smoky Mountain until near the end, like 94, 95.
No. 93's been pretty good so far.
I'm still in 92 of it, but I'm watching all them others and stuff.
It's just like I have really good intentions, and I'm always like, hey, we need to watch this. And then time rolls around and I got to go to work. So I'm getting ready to go to bed. It makes me but I get up really early. So, for my shoot job. So I'm just like, I don't want to say what I watch instead, because that's even more embarrassing. So, but
yeah, I remember these things go on YouTube and sit there forever. So, speaking of guys that we know in modern wrestling and why you should watch modern wrestling, NXT is putting on the Great American Bash tonight. It's supposed to be getting underway in just a little while. Andre Chase, you know him. He's
coming back.
He's back. I guess he was out hurt, but he's back, and his gal Thea has got a shot at the NXT Women's title tonight against Tiffany Stratton. And I think that Tiffany is, if you've not seen her before, she just happens to be trending on Twitter, and that's what made me think. Let's see. Yeah, I'll show her this picture. The gentleman in the audience will love this picture of Tiffany. But there's a picture of Tiffany.
Sergeant Stryker wants to get on. Sergeant Stryker is asking why you're not letting him join, Matt.
Because I'm not sure if he's been drinking or not, and so that's what is holding me up.
Okay. Well, he's the one that put it up. I asked, you answered, so.
And then
oh my Lord.
Yeah. She's a beauty, but she's a bitch too. She is like she is so mean. Well, I mean, all women hate each other. We know that. But yeah,
I do not. That is not true. There are plenty of women in this world that I like. There's more that I don't like, but there's plenty that I do.
Jerry Lawler.
Speaking of, remember I told you I seen Bad Kitty yesterday and didn't recognize her.
Oh wow. Yeah, but here's the card for tonight for the Great American Bash. And as you can see, Dominic Mysterio, who is now calling himself Dirty Dominic, is the new North American champion, and he's going to be defending against Wesley and Mustafa Ali tonight, which ought to be.
Has he been demoted?
No, he's still on Raw. but he went down to NXT. Look, if we could talk a little inside baseball here, which I don't really want to, but I think it's important to right now. Dominic suffered a pretty one-sided loss to Cody Rhodes at the last pay-per-view. So I think that they just don't want him to lose any heat. So they put the North American Championship on him just to make sure he doesn't. Just my opinion. So, and look at this. Here's somebody I hadn't seen before. Blair Davenport against Roxanne Perez. Roxanne Perez is one of Booker T's students, and she's absolutely fantastic. Former NXT Women's Champion. She suffered an injury and had to vacate that title and wasn't able to get it back. But
she looks cuter than the other ones.
She's a firecracker is what I would call her, because she's really tiny. She reminds me of AJ Lee a whole lot 10 years ago. But yeah, but anyway, Great American Bash is back, and so on and so forth. So if Sergeant Stryker has answered my question,
he says, no, Matt Carter, I have not been drinking. Thank you very much, LMAO.
Okay.
Well, sometimes you just got to take a shot.
Well, after his pictures, I just don't know.
Well, since he said, oh, here's another good picture, but he comes on the air smoking, of course. All right,
He's an athlete.
Yeah,
we're used to be.
Here's another picture of
Can't hear
Tiffany.
you.
Oh, he didn't unmute himself. He might be drinking.
There's another picture of
I don't
Tiffany.
like.
Doing
I
sign
don't like
language.
that's just. I don't like those boobs. I don't want fake ones. I just.
I don't like the fact that there's so many of them has to be models to make it anymore.
Yeah, Tiffany does have the model look.
What is he doing?
But it looks like he
Clean up the yard.
really clean. Oh boy.
Turn it around, Kevin.
Other way.
Yeah.
Where is he?
Is he leaving?
Is it Blair Witch?
Ah,
Is it
here we
Blair
go.
Witch?
Rails gone. What is he doing?
It looks like he might be. He was headed for the truck there for a second. And
Oh, he left his keys in the
I
house.
was about to say we're going to see somebody
Okay,
actually
what I
get a
think is he's
DUI
knocking
live on this
himself.
program.
Right, first off, keys are in the house. Pay the trash collection bill.
Oh Lord.
I can't. I'm gonna have to mute because I'm
For
laughing.
those of you,
Lord.
yeah, I see why now the audio version of this podcast doesn't do well, because you really have to see it.
Yeah, you got to be able to see what we're seeing. What did he fall down?
Okay.
Is that
I'm
a
better
turd?
now.
Good Lord, that house is a mess. But
That's why I'm very
Somebody told him to cover
about
that
what I
damn
say.
camera.
hey, that's why I have a set, Reagan. That's why I have a set. You don't see.
Yeah, me too.
You know,
Me too. That's why my camera's pointed up. This is the office, and
It's
I don't
like,
have
I'm like
don't have a cleaning service. So there he is.
I'm trying
Alright,
to get somewhere where I can hear y'all because my phone's not working. Volume on the phone's not working for some reason.
Whoa. We're up your nose.
Trim him nose
Kevin.
hairs. My God,
I
I can see your thoughts.
Oh my Lord.
Your mind is dirty as that porch.
Anyway,
I
what
mean,
I was saying about Tiffany
There
Stratton,
he is. No, he's muted again. God dang it.
she does have those
I
model
left,
good
bro.
looks. She does have those
That
model
was just
good
getting
looks,
good.
but she is a tremendous wrestler. So, don't be fooled by,
Yeah. And they are. I mean, I would say, and this is controversial kind of. I think some of the women in some of the smaller promotions are 1,000 times better than 90% of the women that work for WWE.
God, yes.
That's just me.
really.
But they don't hire them for their skills anymore. They hire them for their marketability. And
Well, okay, so this is where I'm going with it right now.
I was going to say, because
right,
please
one of
show
my
me, because all we can't get a damn opponent for Clara half the time. So all these
I'm not
fantastic
talking
women
about
wrestlers.
our level.
No, we're not. She's not saying there's a whole lot of them.
Oh, okay.
No, okay, I'm just going to give you an example. Can I give my example, please?
Go right ahead.
So Taya Valkyrie is one of my favorite female wrestlers. I was introduced to her on the AIWF Network with Lucha Underground. She worked for Paris Del Mall in AAA. Great worker. She had an eating disorder, and so she was like really skinny, but she kind of got better with herself. She got comfortable with who she was, and by no means is this woman big. She's not, but they're always she's a great wrestler, great. All people talk about how she's fat now, and she used to not be fat, even though she's a tremendous worker, tremendous. But they're just focused on the fact that 6 years ago she had washboard abs, and now she's got a little meat on her, and it's just disgusting.
Who's she talking about?
What's this person's name?
Taya
again?
Valkyrie.
Oh yeah, no, that's
Taya
nothing wrong with
Valkyrie.
Taya Valkyrie. I've seen her wrestle.
But she was just on her Twitter. She was just on her Twitter talking about how people are talking about how she's fat and she's slow, and it's just bothersome. But
Well, that's because in the big organizations, they have been programmed now to expect the women wrestlers to be models and not wrestlers. And I have a serious problem with that. I don't tune into, when I do or did, I don't tune into WWE or AEW or Impact or what's left of NWA. I don't tune into them to, watch models. I tune in to watch two women beat the hell out of each other.
Yeah, Taya's on AEW. There's nothing wrong with her.
Yeah, she's AEW now. Yes, nothing, but she was just on her Twitter talking about how people were talking shit about the way she looks, and she's slow. But I mean,
they say that because there's just
some
mad
other girl
that she's got a job and they don't, and they're trying to make her feel self-conscious.
Yeah.
But
that's what they do. That's what they do, because if you can't, it's almost like they don't want to push you if you can't do a nice bikini spread.
But she can do a nice bikini spread. I don't know what the fuck the problem is here.
That's what I'm saying.
I think
it kind of looks fucking great.
Look at the pictures you just showed, Matt. Look at the pictures that you just showed of the NXT champion.
Tiffany, yeah.
Right. I mean, that is the mold now. That's the mold for women wrestlers, not the Lonnie Kais or the Susan Greens, or women who just get in there and beat the hell out of you. You know what I'm saying? I'm friends with Lonnie. If she sees me and she has a problem with what I say, she'll just smack me. But
nice lady.
I love her to death. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Or Kevin said he sent another request. He's talking.
I see him. Yeah, I see it.
Oh my Lord!
He's having issues with his phone.
But anyway, a picture of Taya so people know who I'm talking about.
But I mean, well, it's just like
here's her Twitter.
Peggy Lee Leather, who passed away a few weeks ago.
Oh, she was hilarious.
She wasn't a model, but she was a hell of a damn wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
There's one picture.
I have to be careful showing these AEW clips because I get popped for copyright.
See, that's not fat. That's not overweight.
No, it's
not. I like her hair.
That is.
I'm old.
I like her hair because I wish I could pull that off. But she's a great wrestler. I mean, she's always been. She worked primarily. She's from Canada, and then she primarily worked in Mexico for like years and years and years. And then kind of got her breakthrough with Lucha Underground. She's married to John Morrison, who is the most in shape man I have ever seen in my entire life. Whew. And it's just people rip on her looks all the time. And look at her. What the hell is wrong with her? Nothing. Nothing. But people rip on the way she looks all the time.
All right,
Because she was
Kevin's
in
ready
WWE as Frankie. Huh?
I said Kevin's ready again.
Well, because she was in WWE as Frankie Monet for about 6 months, and they were terrible to her, and so she got let go in those big let goes. But her
All the
character there
cuts.
was terrible. But yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'm just scrolling here because I wanted to make the point. I don't think that like the model good looks are necessarily the formula in WWE as it was a few years ago. Maybe
like
10
say-
years
Pull
ago.
up their women's roster. I want to see it.
That's what I'm trying to do here, but it's hard to find. Let's see here.
I mean, just look at those three right there.
Oh, that's got the whole damn. Here we go. Female.
because who was the British girl from NXT or in the NXT UK that was kind of thick? Like she had a weird name, like Pepper or Persephone or
Well, they had old
Does anybody
Dewdrop
know
there
who
for a
that
while, whatever her name was.
Dewdrop. Dewdrop.
Yeah, but I can't remember what her real name is.
They didn't do nothing with her to make her a joke. But I
because
bet
she was
pretty bad anyhow.
because she wasn't skinny.
Right.
Yeah,
And that's what they're looking for. I mean,
Roxanne.
they-
look
they
at Roxanne there. She's a regular looking girl next door type. Just got incredibly good cheekbones.
She is.
but I mean, think about it. Just where do they find their talent now? They'll go out and they'll hire track stars out of college and train them. They'll go, you know what I'm saying? They don't come to the indies for wrestlers very often anymore. Nope, none of them does.
Ugh, that stage coolness.
JC Jane. Yeah, she's a real bitch too. She was with Mandy Rose in their group, but they split up. And then her partner was, I don't really like that this website's giving away their real names, but there's Gigi Dolan. Yeah, I mean, it's not like they're all supermodels by any stretch. And this is just the NXT roster. Let's see, Wendy Chu. She has a funny gimmick. She wrestles in pajamas. And of course, they don't have her fucking picture here. Oh, there it is. Yeah, she's got a funny gimmick. She's, I think she's a good wrestler. She's not taken seriously, but it's kind of hard to because you wrestle in pajamas and bring a teddy bear to the ring, and when you lose, you cry. So, but let's see who else here. Nikita Lyons. Yeah, and
Feels like a video game mod.
yeah, let's see. Cora Jade. Definitely not a supermodel, good looking.
What are you talking about?
What?
What the man?
She is not
Really?
super.
Really?
She's like a girl next door. I'm telling you.
No, she doesn't. What fucking girl next door to you looks like that? Tell me
A
who
dirty
lives
old
next
man
door
down
to
there.
you, and that's what they look like.
Well, I mean, like when I think like supermodel good looks, I'm thinking like Tiffany Stratton, who's really the only one I think right now that I think of, like it's in that sable, sunny.
But unless they have them for a certain reason, they have a certain body type.
Agreed.
Okay. It's Kiana James. She's real mean too. She cheated on her cowboy boyfriend a few months ago. But
Like,
yeah.
Really, or in wrestling?
No.
And once again, you don't see that many of them that actually had an independent career. They're not looking for that. They're not looking for wrestlers anymore. They're looking for content.
Well, okay. So I kind of agree with you there a little bit, but to play devil's advocate, Wahoo McDaniel was not a wrestler. He's a football player.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them in the 70s played football during football season. Football season over. Now I'm a wrestler.
Yeah, but Wahoo wrestled in college, didn't he?
I know,
if you
not saying
think
that.
about it,
And he's talking about. I'm not talking about amateur wrestling. I'm talking about looking at the indies or looking around for people who are trained wrestlers. What
there
I'm
wasn't a whole lot
saying
of
is,
indies.
back in the day,
Yeah,
but what I'm saying is they pulled from sports. Like Ron Simmons was a football player.
Well, and I think
even though
that
he-
was because
Mongo McMahon.
I think a lot of that was because they got football players, because football players were tough and fights. And back then they wanted somebody that people would believe would go and just beat somebody's ass. It was a type. They had a type then like they have a type now.
Wahoo said it's a story in Wahoo's book about how he got mixed up in professional wrestling. And it came down to he met somebody in a bar, or it was a fellow football player who was telling him about doing pro wrestling in the off season because it was a good way to make money during the off season. Because when Wahoo played pro football back in the 60s, the money was good for the time, but it wasn't like it is now.
Yeah.
And so he was looking to supplement his income, and that's how he got into it. You know, it was, well, I wish I had the book close by and I can look it up, but yeah, it was a whole different set of circumstances. And like Rick Diesel said, I don't think there were that many.
But what I'm saying is, and I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is there's always been a time where they've taken from sports. Because Rick said taken from track, taken from this.
I don't think they take them from
that.
I don't think they take them from college sports because of their athletic background. I think they take them from college sports because of their athletic bodybuild. Even Vince McMahon said a long time ago that if you don't have a body or a look for TV, you're no good to him.
But then you got Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, you got to have a few. I mean, you know what I'm saying? But Kevin Owens was also a star before he came up there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I
was a star before he went there. I guess my biggest thing is it's the people they bring into the performance center who's never wrestled before.
Yeah.
Because if you'll ever look at the next class of, you know, when they'll post all their pictures and everything whenever they get a new class at the performance center, they're almost always fresh out of college, no wrestling experience. They'll sprinkle a couple in there for flavor, but they're mostly just college students that, you know, that
reminds me. That reminds me of when NXT used to have or what was the show? Tough Enough.
Yeah.
Is that what it was called?
Yeah.
And I remember watching it. I remember watching it once, and they were practicing bumping, and they all had helmets on.
Yeah, because none of them knew how to.
Well, I mean,
I don't remember that, Reagan. They had helmets on when they were teaching them to bump.
They had helmets on. They had helmets on while they were teaching them how to bump. Because I just recently saw a Facebook memory come up of me saying that. So.
I remember Tough Enough, and I remember the beginning of NXT. You know, when they'd have the new recruit with a star.
Yeah, that was when that's why I was saying NXT. I think it was that right before it turned into NXT. Like, what was that, about 15 years ago?
Something like that, around 2010.
But yeah, I was just like, man, and I guess it's a smart thing to do. I guess, you know, it's a safety precaution, but it did look very strange. Very strange.
Well, and just let me get something straight here too. Just because I said Cora Jade in my eye was not supermodel type good looks does not mean I think she's not pretty. It doesn't mean I don't think she can wrestle, because I think she's a damn good worker, honestly. But I've heard some people say some comments on the street that seem to know about some of her personal business that were not too flattering. Let me just say this. I've never met the girl, don't know her, wouldn't know her if I ran into her in a 7-Eleven. You know, I just wish her the best of luck. I wish all the young wrestlers the best of luck. You know, it's a tough business to get into since the territory's dried up, because there's just not as many places to work, which makes me happy that AEW seems to be finding some footing with their Saturday night show. It's because it gives an opportunity for more people to have a place that they can do wrestling as a living. They can make their living as wrestling and not just do it part-time, and still have to work a shoot job like all of us do. So the more places there are to work, the happier I am. And I wish we could grow our territory, to the point that we could be full-time. I just don't think the economics are there. I just don't think wrestling is popular enough to do that anymore.
Oh, and there's a wrestling company on every corner now. They're like churches.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know. In North Carolina, man, we can match the number of churches with wrestling promotions.
Yeah.
But
there's so many wrestling promotions in North Carolina that they have to share buildings.
Yeah.
My God.
Share buildings, really?
Yeah. I mean, there's you've seen it. There's a wrestling company, different companies will work the same building. I mean, you know what I'm saying? And they work out deals. Okay, you run it this month and I'll run it next month. And it happens.
I saw one case of that in Winston-Salem, but I thought that the one company was lending the building to the other.
Now there's a place in Burlington that like 3 or 4 companies were running at one time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And our neighbor in Surry County has 2 organizations running at them in it now, right?
What, in
2
Elkin?
separate ones?
Yeah. There's 2 companies running that building.
Really?
Because it was like one weekend was one, and the very next weekend was the next. The other one. So
that's why everybody's crowds, are not what they used to be. You know what I'm saying? Unless you just like have a lot of friends that come to the show, but
or a little bit of backing of the vroom.
Or a money mark who for some reason always turns out to be the biggest star in the company. But anyway, I've seen that all over the country, man. Have you ever noticed that? Tony Khan is a perfect example. That's it.
Yeah,
Tony Khan is the money mark and he's biggest star in the company.
Yeah, he's patient zero, all right.
I mean, it makes you go, what?
But you know what? Tony Khan, for all his, for all that stuff that you said, and every bit of it's true, Tony Khan is a highly intelligent man. And he's like a computer. He's like Skynet and Terminator. He's learning. I'm telling you, you can see things are starting to get better. And I'm telling you, it's going to be one of these days, he's going to snap and he's going to be like, I'm tired of these fucking wrestlers pushing me around. And when he comes to that reality and he takes that promotion by the nuts and starts running it like, more like a hard ass businessman, like I know his dad wants him to, that company's going to be fine. It's just, I hope he doesn't burn through his inheritance before he gets there mentally.
Yeah.
Because I mean, Tony Khan works with numbers. He's a statistician. One of the things he does for the Jaguars is he's their statistician. And so somebody that can crunch numbers at the speed of light is going to figure this shit out eventually. It's only a matter of time. And he's going to figure out who's there at AEW who is just bleeding him for a paycheck and not useful. And they're going to be gone. I would say probably
they run a lot of paychecks there to run 3 shows a week.
Yeah,
that's a lot of overhead, bro. I think unnecessary.
Well, they shoot at 2 different buildings every week now that they've got Collision, right? Because they do Dynamite live, and then they tape the Friday night show. What's that called?
But see, that's the thing. You're proving my point right there. They got so many, you can't even remember them all. And at what point does one start hurting another?
Yeah. And I am a wrestling nerd. I be watching Raw and SmackDown and NXT every week, and AEW when I can.
And back in the day when I was such a huge mark, I was watching Nitro, watching Raw. I was flipping back and forth, and then I was watching Thunder, and then I was watching Saturday Night, and then I was watching, whatever WWE Sunday show was. I can't remember what it was called.
Sunday Night Heat.
Yes, Heat. So like,
But at what point does the oversaturation hurt yourself?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it eventually did catch up with them a little bit because they don't have but he doesn't have all the Because they don't have like a syndicated show, right? Not
No,
really.
just Raw and SmackDown. They have like the
Yeah.
main event, but that's like that's kind of more of an online type streaming
No.
thing, I think. But one thing I will give WWE credit for, they've got all this. I've been saying this for years. Anybody who's talked to me about it, I always hate it for them. Bobby Dalton just sent me a message that says Rampage is the Friday show for AEW, but WWE and they've got so much TV time they have to fill every week. It's got to be next to impossible, and it's got to be really difficult. I think they're doing a good job now of focusing more on their storylines, more so than the wrestling matches on Raw and SmackDown. And I know Cornette hates it, but I look at it like this. If you give people great matches all the time, why are they going to keep coming back? You know,
Right, because after about the second or third match, there's only so many wrestling moves you can do.
Yeah, exactly. So go ahead, Reagan.
I know, I agree. Like you have to have, I don't know, like smaller build-up matches. Is that kind of like,
Yeah.
And I said,
yeah, like it doesn't need to be a main event every match.
and since, you know, Vince was ousted, and I know he's back and everything, but he's not interfering as much because he sees live attendance is up, the ratings are up. Triple H is getting the handle on the booking end at WWE, and their pay-per-view revenue is up. I mean, well, not pay-per-view because they premium live events, right? Because you stream them on Peacock.
Yeah.
But you know, the attendance is up. You know, everybody in the wrestling media is talking about how attendance is really up for WWE right now. So they're doing something right. And so I hope the momentum keeps building, because that will trickle down to the indies at some point, but it's got a long way to go before I think we start seeing any action from it. Rick Diesel, you know firsthand. I mean,
I've rode the wave up and I've rode it down for 31 years.
yeah. And when wrestling, remember when wrestling was really super huge mainstream in the Stone Cold Steve Austin 97, 98, 99. Did you notice I had just gotten into the indies, so I had not seen it before, but was there a significant pickup in interest in the indies at that time because of what was going on at the national level?
Well, we was packing houses in 4 states.
Yeah.
At that time, in the mid to late 90s. I mean, because that was when we was running West Virginia, North Carolina, Virginia, and occasionally going into Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
And we was drawing good crowds in 4 states. No internet, no TV. So wrestling was that hot back then. They seen wrestling coming. They came to see it, and we give them a good enough show that when we come back, they would come and bring friends.
Yeah.
But that, you know, that was back when you had to earn it. You had to, because if you went into a town and you didn't do good and you didn't give them a good show, they wouldn't come back the next time you come there.
No.
We always grew. And then the internet hit, and that hurt everybody. I mean, the internet, don't get me wrong, the internet's good, the internet's bad.
Yeah, we're on the internet.
Yeah, and I'm on the internet right now.
Right this minute.
Because I had to just give in. But internet also made it so people could just sit and watch wrestling anytime they wanted to. You know, it's just like I'm watching Memphis. You know, a couple of days a week, I watch a Memphis show from 1978.
Where are you finding those? YouTube.
YouTube.
Okay.
YouTube. That's where I'm watching Smoky Mountain. Somebody made a playlist of Smoky Mountain's years.
Yeah.
So I just kick SMW 93.
I've known about that playlist for about 5 years.
Samoa Joe says AW does better. Oh, what? Sorry.
I said I've known about that Smoky Mountain playlist for like 5 years, but I was afraid to tell anybody because I was afraid it'd get taken down for copyright if too many people saw it. So
no, well,
I was
I'm
being
doxing it now.
I was being selfish and keeping it to myself.
I bet. What I was going to say, I can tell you what Samoa Joe says that AEW does better than WWE. He was on a podcast that I listened to, you know, because he's in Twisted Metal, and the person on the podcast
yes,
Twisted
he
Metal.
plays Sweet Tooth.
He says, he says AEW has better catering.
Well, that's something.
That's interesting.
All it is leftovers from the hospitality booths at the Jaguars games.
Well, it must be pretty good.
Well, he says it's better in WWE, so
That's funny. I met Samoa Joe once. He was polite, but very curt.
Yeah, asshole tried to make me rub his feet. I said, no, I'm the promoter of this damn show. He said, well, you should be the one
he
doing
was
it.
great on this podcast. He was great on this podcast, so
He asked me, he said, who was I told him, I was like, hey, I'm Matt Carter. I said, I've been the announcer around here for about 20 some years. And he's like, oh, cool. He said, are you relation to Dixie Carter? And I said, looked at him and I said, who's that? And he just started laughing and slapped me on the back and walked off and said, never mind, man. And I come to find out that it wasn't but a few weeks before that Dixie Carter, it didn't occur to me at the time, but she had owned TNA at the time and it screwed him out of some money. And he really hated her ass. So for me to look at him and be like, just honest to God, who's that? What?
That's Kevin. Won't know why you won't let him on the show.
and his girlfriend's in on it too. So
You better let him on. He's got something to say.
Well, let me read our advertisements first, and then we'll go back. We'll let him on. Let me do the second set of ads real quick. Hang tight, everybody. All right. I can't believe my voice is holding up so well. Let's see here. Branch management. Can you guys see the ad?
Yes, sir.
All right. Branch management is a tree service that operates in the Mount Airy, Surry County area of North Carolina. They can help you with branches that are maybe too close to structures. Why is it doing this? Can you see the screen share or no? It's saying it's paused.
I see it.
Dang it.
I see the screen.
All right. So we're looking at the branch management ad, right?
Yeah.
All right. They can help you with branches that are maybe too close to structures, normal pruning, or complete tree removal. They offer very competitive rates and free estimates, and are here to serve you. You can also earn a $100 referral bonus if you refer a friend to them. You can reach out to Branch Management for any of your tree service needs, 336-648-9282 or 336-320-8994. And again, they can help you out with complete tree removal if that's what you need, or if you just got a sick tree that needs a little doctoring, they'll be glad to help you with all that. They can trim their structures, do pruning, because you can't just let these trees, especially if they're near houses and businesses and stuff like that, just grow all wild and everything. They need proper pruning to keep them healthy and happy. And branch management can help you with all that. Again, those numbers 336-648-9282 or 336-320-8994. Branch management also does landscaping, pressure washing, gutter cleaning, general contracting work around the home. That's a different number. If you reach out to them, it's 336-648-2487. It's 336-648-2487 for the landscaping, pressure washing, and so on and so forth. And now finally to our most delicious sponsor, T's Treats. They are a locally owned food truck based in Mount Airy. Great pizza, delicious dog, and let me try that again. Easy for me to say. Great pizza, delicious dogs, and decadent desserts. And now featuring mini donuts, available for any event, music festivals, athletic tournaments, street festivals, etc. And of course, you can see them at wrestling all the time. If you'd like to know where they're going to be, you can check them out on Facebook at T's Treats, or you can just give them a call and leave them a message. 336-755-8204. That's 336-755-8204. And you can find out where T's Treats is going to be. Rick Diesel, anything new coming to the menu of T's Treats? It's all yummy and delicious, and we like it.
Well, we are doing the Surry County Fair. We're opening the concession stand up there this year.
That's right. We hadn't talked about it on this show, but yeah, the fair.
Yes, it's August 9th through the 13th, I think. 8th through the 13th. So my second week of August. So it's gonna be good.
Yeah, looking forward to the fair. Looking forward to the great.
It'll be hot, but it's gonna be good.
Yes, it will. But so T's Treats, check them out. All right, we're gonna try this again. Let's Sergeant Striker in here and see what happens.
Yeah, come on. I'm excited about this.
We're just ready to hurl some more insults at him about the condition of his yard.
There he is.
All right, there we go.
Now you unmute.
Anybody else want to know
There
why?
he is. He got it. Oh, Reagan just left.
No,
You
she
let
just
her
turned.
off.
She turned her camera off, so maybe she had to pee or something.
Okay.
Yeah. So anybody wondering?
Why are
how-
we in his ear again?
I don't know. See, this is why
I got
was
you now.
hesitant. This is why I was hesitant to put him back on. I didn't know what we were going to see.
Nah, you got me now. I was sitting here watching live on my girlfriend's Facebook, waiting for y'all to let me in.
Well, we had a few things we had to go over before we could open up room for it. But unfortunately, we're getting close to the end of the show.
Yes, we are, and I've still got to talk about Tiny Tiger's rescue.
Hey, y'all talk about whatever. I didn't really have nothing much to say. I just know it had been a while since I've been on the show and everything. I just wanted to come back. But now that I heard Rick Diesel say something about somebody better let Kevin on, he might have something to say. I actually do have something to address, but
Go right ahead. Do
get
it.
through what you got to do.
Dress them nose hairs.
Yeah.
Well, I get them from you, man. I got to get your trimmer again.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Well, I threw it away
Gross.
after last time you used it.
But anyway, so Miss Reagan, if you're still here, what's the deal with your husband?
Oh, we covered that as a first of the show 2
Well, that was
hours
the
ago.
first segment. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your support.
That may be true,
okay.
but I've been busy and I was just lucky enough to catch y'all's tail end of the show, and I hadn't been able to
Give him the short
listen
version,
or
Reagan.
discuss it. So yeah, what's going on with that?
Okay, short version. So, we have not discussed it since it happened. He won't talk to me about it. He won't give me a reason. He just will not talk about it. And so it's been a little odd in the house. So I was just as shocked as everybody else, about what happened. So I don't know. He won't talk to me about it. He's just, not shut down, but what did I say? Introspective. It's like his gears are running in his head and he won't
Right.
let me in. He won't let me in on what it is.
Well, I mean, is he going to be at the next shows and stuff? Because if he is, he's going to be prepared to get some questions from me.
We have not talked about it. When I say he will not talk to me about it, he will not talk to me about it. He will
I
not
got you.
mention the show. He will not mention, like, he's not on here tonight because he's like, I don't want to do it. I'm not doing it. And that was it. I'm not gonna argue with him.
Well,
about
hopefully
it.
hopefully he feels bad about what he just done, or what he done a couple of weeks ago.
Well, I'm gonna say with the way he ended in that match and his old position in the center of the ring, I don't know that he'd even care. To tell you the truth, I don't know. Like I said, I'm just as shocked as everybody else. So
Wow.
On another
Well, thank you.
subject, this has been bugging me the whole show. Is that Michael Keaton on that poster back there behind you?
that person,
Yeah.
That's Han Solo.
no, it's Michael J. Nelson from Mystery Science Theater 3000.
This whole time I'm trying my best to figure out what space show Michael Keaton was in.
He was.
It's Michael J. Nelson, Crow T. Robot, and Tom Servo.
He was the
I see
second
him
guy
now, but I
after
was so
Joel.
focused on Michael Keaton in the middle.
Yes.
That guy was the second guy after Joel, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just had to get that. I knew it was about out of time, and I just had to get that out there.
Well, yeah, I like that show, but the movies they showed were so bad it was hard to get through it a lot of times. I mean, it was rough.
I watch one every night. Every night I go to bed watching one. So,
Yeah, for sure. They'll sure put you to sleep. That's for sure. That's no doubt about it. It was a great show. I mean, I enjoyed it, but man, it was rough. Some of those movies. The best part about it was after it was over with, they'd go back and it'd show you all the flaws they found in it, you know, and all the misses. So, but look, I got something cool to share with you guys. You know how we talk about Tiny Tigers Rescue on this program.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jimmy Love.
Jimmy Love is still available for adoption. So, yeah. So visit tinytigersrescue.org. They are a no-kill cat shelter in Mount Airy, and you can reach out to them. They've got plenty of cats up for adoption, male or female, and all that kind of stuff. And they need donations as well.
Look, Reagan, one's got a mustache or a beard.
The bearded cat.
no, and it's so cute.
Uh,
My
so,
cat's been tearing my door down.
so yeah, you can donate to them. You can be a foster home. You can reach out to them all different kind of ways here. But yeah, they do a great job there at Tiny Tigers Rescue. And I went to a big tiger rescue while I was in the Philippines. I went to Subic, which is a zoo up there on Subic Bay, and they specialize in big tiger rescue. And so I got a couple of interesting videos if you guys think you'd like to see them.
Oh yeah.
Why do I feel
Go
like
right
you could
ahead.
just find one in the backyard over there?
No, that's India you're thinking about.
Oh, okay.
See, think about, all right. So first thing you need to know about like big tigers is like, they're not like lions. Like lions roam and hunt in packs and all that kind of stuff. Tigers do not do that. When they're weaned from their mothers, they go on their own, right? And they only get together to mate. You know, they are loners. They hunt alone. They have their own territory. If another tiger comes into their territory, somebody's going to get their ass kicked and leave. You know, so it's the reason I say that is because what they do at this tiger preserve is like every day for a few hours, they rotate their tigers out into the enclosed area so that you can get up close to them. And they take you out in a jeepney and will let you get close to the tigers while they feed them chicken that they raised on site, which you have to pay for. But let's see here. See if I can get this strange there. Let me see if I can get this thing to work. So this is the first tiger we met. You get in the jeepney and you ride, and they feed the tigers chicken. And this tiger's name was Jerry. And let's see. Can you see the video?
Oh yeah.
All right. So here, I'll put a little sound with it.
Whoa. Oh, you get to feed them the chicken.
No, the zookeeper feeds them.
Oh.
But you sit there. That's how close you are. And you will never get closer to tigers at any other zoo I've ever seen than this.
Curious about the fact the dude's still wearing a mask.
Well, I think he was wearing that because of us. He didn't know if we were sick or not.
I guess.
Watch this.
Sometimes when you're
Watch this.
walking,
You throw the chicken on top of the Jeep and the tiger jumps up there. Yeah. So the first time I went there in 2010, the guy nailed it and got it right on the skylight of the Jeep. And you could see the tigers put his paws there right where you could see it. And it was incredible. And when he bit the piece of chicken, all the blood and the juice and everything came down through the roof and kind of gave us all a chicken juice shower, which in a tropical climate makes you smell real good for the rest of the day. And
Especially to the other tigers.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, but like they have to be careful. Like this cat was Jerry, his brother Tom, that you're about to see a video of. They have him in this enclosure, which is pretty big, but the tigers can still run into each other, right? You know, and sometimes they do fight. So what they do is they try to pair up tigers that they put in the enclosure at the same time as less likely to fight. So Tom and Jerry are brothers. Now you want to talk about a tiger that was acting like your average ordinary house cat that just did not want to cooperate with us touristy sightseer types. I'm gonna have to show you this. I think this video is just absolutely hilarious. And you cat lovers out there are about to get a real treat of a very uncooperative tiger. I was thinking about putting this on our YouTube channel and calling it Tiger Trouble, just if it would draw some eyes, even though it's not wrestling related. So this is Tom.
Si Jerry, papunta na naman dyan si Jerry. O, sige ka.
Mga agaw na ng chicken yun.
Now he's in the shade. He doesn't want to come out because it's hot. It's like lunchtime.
Sige na, sige na.
You can see it in his eyes as he's looking at you. He's thinking lunchtime.
And so the zookeepers are trying to give us our money's worth. So
Oh,
Come on, buddy.
he said, nope. Gotcha.
yeah, because he's got to come out in the sun to get down next to the road where we're at. He's only about,
Sige na, sige na.
I know the video's kind of blurry, but he's only about maybe 6-7 feet from us.
Ay, come here.
You tell it's got to be hot. Look how hard he's breathing.
Yeah.
Hey, it's like saying, fuck you guys. If you want me to eat, throw that shit to me.
Yeah. And you got to keep in mind, one of these Jeeps goes through there like every 20 minutes or so.
Oh, he
Look,
ain't even hungry.
Yeah, look, that's fresh chicken. They grow those chickens on site, so that's not supermarket chicken. They raise those chickens themselves.
Wala sa mood.
Pag gaganto kasi mainit, tama dito mag-agad po sila.
He ain't having it.
Masahin niya. Tsaka po, laki ng katawan niya, talagang mabilis
But a
mapagod.
couple of
Then
funny
I'm just
things
gonna lay
happen.
here. Is that I'm just gonna lay here and wait till the shade moves up a little bit more.
Tom,
Ilang taon na yan siya, kuya?
Magkapatid po silang dalawa, ma'am. Tom and Jerry, 8 years old po.
8 years old?
Tom, yes na, dali na.
So hanggang
He ain't having it.
age yan sila, kuya.
see, he's throwing little pieces of chicken out into the sunlight to try to get him to
Teenager pa siya.
Yes,
come up
ma'am.
there.
So nagre-rebelde. Nagre-rebelde ka, Tom.
Tom, tara na.
Ilang tigers meron dito sa loob na to?
Bali, pinapakawalan namin, ma'am, nasa 15 tigers po.
15?
Yun nga lang, by batch po sila, hindi sila sabay-sabay.
Nag-aaway.
Nag-aaway-aaway po kasi sila, yes po.
So ngayon, ilan yung nakawala ngayon?
Bali ngayon po
I
sila
do not know
dalawa
enough
po ni
Tagalog to be
Jerry
able to
at,
translate this conversation.
Kalimitan kasi magkakasama sa batch, magkakapatid po.
Para hindi.
Tom and Jerry, yes po.
Up there. Now we go.
There you go. So big.
Yeah, he's big.
He's way bigger than the other
I heard Matt in the background go, there you go.
Yeah, I'm filming this. I'm sitting behind the zookeeper. And Jinky and my sister-in-law are in the
Maarte
row
ka.
behind us.
Hindi bagay sa iyo, Tom. Ah,
Tom,
Tom, halika na. Ang galing mo yan. Ang galing ah. Tom,
Oh, he really knows how to separate his vegetables from his meat, don't he?
yeah, tigers clearly do not like vegetables.
Mahihiya.
But yeah, you'd never in any zoo that I've ever seen get this close to tigers.
Tom,
He's only about 2 feet away from us right now.
Dito mas malaki yung chicken.
Now remember how the last time he threw the chicken up on top of the Jeep and the tiger
Tom,
jumped up
balik
there?
yan.
Watch closely what happens when he tries to get Tom to jump up there.
Tom, wala na dyan, ito na.
Chicken na. Oo, malaki. Dito pa kasi laki. Umaarte ka ba? Kakain ka din pala.
Look at that. Look
He
at those
looks
teeth.
small next to him.
Natin isama sa ibabaw ng queue.
Ay, dagat ako malaki. Ayoko matigit. Picturean mo nga. Kunwari ayaw selfie. But
And notice how the zookeeper's keeping his fingers and knuckles inside the cage the whole time. You know, you got to know how to feed these things or you'll lose a finger.
nararamdaman nararamdaman ko yung
Right now,
hininga
he's
niya.
just holding it there so we can get pictures.
Well, you should.
Gusto mo? Balikan tayo yung... Tom, where are you?
Sasama na po natin si Tom, ha?
Now watch.
Tom. Pwesto na.
Look, he throws it up on the roof,
Tom.
and the tiger's like, "Fuck
Ano
no."
na? Tom. Tom.
Now watch.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Tom.
it's like he ain't going up there.
Tom.
He said, "You dirty bastard."
Yeah, he's looking along the ground. He's like, no, we're not jumping today."
Tom. Dito na, dito na. Tom. Madaya ka. Tom.
Ang laki-laki niya talaga, grabe.
Isa sa pinakamalaking tiger po namin.
Siya yun? Tom!
Meron din po mga ganyan pa rin po kalalaki kaso hindi tulad nga po nila. Hindi sila magkakasama mula pagkabibigay. Depende po sa kasama.
Oo.
Mag-aaway at mag-aaway po talaga sila. Bali, nagagawan sila, territorial animals po kasi sila.
Oo. Tom, come
Tom!
Tom! Wala na ba?
Ah.
Bang boy.
Tom!
Tom,
Ayaw, wala
And-
siya.
Just like dealing with cats at home.
just like any old normal house cat, will not cry when you want them to do stuff. You know, they're not like dogs; they don't do tricks. But yeah, so that's a great. I thought we'd do tiny tigers. We'd show you some full-time tigers, full-size tigers from a rescue. So, and another thing weird about tigers, I don't know if domestic house cats will do this, but if you got to watch it around the males, man, or they'll turn around and give you a nice pea spray if they don't like your tone. And so you got to be real careful around tigers.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, Diesel, I don't think you should go over there because you have a pretty bad tone to your voice sometimes when you talk to different animals.
I won't go to countries where people will stab me for my attitude. I don't go to Mexico or South America or the Pacific. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know how to keep my mouth shut. I go to England because they don't care. I go to Canada because they don't care.
Rick Diesel, we need to take you to a scary country sometime.
Ooh. One good thing about it, if I did get kidnapped in the Philippines, it wouldn't take them long to either kill me or give me back.
Yeah, well, that's what we were counting on if it happened to me too. You know, I just whine so much. I don't want to go walking through the jungle again today.
I'm too bad to speak my mind about stuff like that. And
Yeah, I will say this, you know, Philippines has changed a lot since I was there in 2010. It's calmed down a whole lot. There's a lot more law and order now.
they killed off all the drug dealers.
They did. They killed off all the drug dealers. You know what? You could say what you want about Duterte. He had a big mouth. He said stuff inappropriate a lot of times, and but his strong armedness had seemed to affect other politicians at the local level. And the mayor of Makati is a real take no shit type of girl, and that it's not as wild there anymore. I mean, so they're headed in the right direction, man. They're enforcing the laws they've already got on the books. If they ever get all the police departments cleaned up, they'll be in good shape. But now I wouldn't hold my breath on that, you know. But anyway, that's that. We've been here for a while, guys. We've been here.
Yeah, you're gonna have a problem with this when it went over 2 hours.
Yeah, well, we hadn't done many shows this month, so I don't know how. I have to look on Spotify later and see. I'm sorry.
Oh.
See how we're doing. Any final thoughts before we get out of here? The big show's coming up Saturday night. We want everybody to join us August 5th. Maybe we'll get some answers from Brian Danzig.
Yeah, hopefully we can get some answers. But as far as my final thoughts and everything, I just apologize for getting on the panel so late and everything else like that. I will try my damnedest to get on here early enough next Sunday.
All right.
Okay. I ain't got nothing to say. I can't follow that.
Okay, Reagan.
Well, we'll just.
I am putting
Reagan,
my,
you're a cat person. I didn't hear you saying much during the tiger feeding. What did you think of that?
I was watching so intently. I didn't want to. I would love to. I've been to tiger rescues in this area, but you never get that close. Like,
Yeah.
they're usually, especially in this area, they don't have the land to like let them live like in nature, But we have a pretty good one here in North Carolina. But yeah,
You talking about
those
Tiger World?
videos are crazy. And yeah, I think it's what it. Yeah.
Yeah, Tiger World in
Yeah.
Salisbury.
But like, yes. But my one thing is like, how do they not get salmonella? Like,
I think
with handling that chicken.
what the zookeepers, they wash their hands a lot, but the tigers I don't think get salmonella because their bodies.
Oh no, not the tigers, the people. Like, I'm so disgusted with the handling of the chicken that I can't talk.
And that's why I got a shot of it, because I knew a lot of people in this country would find it gross. But no, I've never heard anything about a salmonella outbreak at that zoo or whatever. That zoo is so awesome. We drove.
they got tigers, not salmon.
Huh? Hey, Bruno.
I think it went over his head a little bit.
No, it didn't. I got it. I just was like,
Not a fish reserve.
But we drove 3 hours one way to go to that zoo. It's up there at Subic Bay, and it's actually built.
I would
The
love
reason
to see that.
the reason they have so much land is because it's built. It's actually, the whole zoo is not as big as the zoo in Asheboro, but the reason they have so much land, they built it on an old American Air Force base. Part of it is there, and so they've got room to spread out. They've got tigers, ostriches, all kinds of snakes and lizards for you to play with. We even got to see a couple of cheetahs procreating, which was interesting.
Really?
Yes.
Oh,
I think
Their
I've got
spouses didn't catch them.
I
mean, if y'all knew where they were, surely the God the husbands and wives did.
well, I don't know. We thought they were fighting at first, but then it's like, no, they're not fighting. But
They're just cheating.
nah, well, I don't know, man. It was two girls and one dude in the same enclosure, and the other female didn't seem to have an issue with what was going on the other side of the cage. She clearly see it. I might have some video of that, but I ain't gonna show it here. Hey, I got some. I saw a couple of Asian elephants procreating the last time I was at Columbus Zoo. You can bet your ass I rolled video on that, because that's just not something you see every day. Especially
That's right. I mean, there's not a whole lot of heavy set Asian women.
Oh my God. We've gone off the rails.
See, I've got
Eat a
Walmart.
lot of rice, man. It's good for you, they say.
I got some Walmart and flea market women jokes ready to go, but we're not gonna go down that road.
Too late in the show. I've been back to use the bathroom for about an hour and 22 minutes.
Well, let's make that happen. So thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be back next
I'm
week.
old. You're lucky it ain't happened already.
Join us Saturday night in Mount Airy for the big show. It's the last one before Deal with the Steel. Maybe we get some answers from Brian Danzig, find out some more information about what's going on. And we'll be back here with you next Sunday, folks. Same bat time, same bad channel. Hope you'll join us. So for Kevin Stryker, Rick Diesel, Reagan Danzig, I am Matt Carter. Wishing you the best. Hope you have a great week. And until next time, wrestling fans, so long for now.
strike hard, strike fast.